Good evening, everyone. Ooh, it's a little louder than I thought it would be. Hi, my name is Stephanie Rogers, and I'm with the Agency for Persons with Disabilities. Thank you for joining us this evening, a 5:30 session. Wow. I see a few familiar faces. I've got some Family Care Council members out there waving at you. Thank you for joining us today. Like I said, I'm with the Agency for Persons with Disabilities, and today I want to share with you two web-based tools that our agency created to help families with identifying state government programs, as well as identifying programs and different services within your local community. Just to give you a little bit of history about our agency, in 2004, Governor Jeb Bush created the Agency for Persons with Disabilities. Prior to that time, we were the Developmental Disabilities Program underneath the Department of Children and Families. So when we became our own separate agency, we started to get a lot of phone calls because of our title of our agency was Agency for Persons with Disabilities. So folks were thinking we encompassed every disability. So families were constantly reaching out and we're like, actually, we provide services for individuals with developmental disabilities. So we were finding that we were referring them to different state agencies. Well, our director was like, wouldn't it be great if we had a website that would let families know exactly what state organization or what state agency had the program that these families were looking for? And I thought, oh, that would be awesome. That is a lot of research. I feel so sorry for the person who has to do that job. And needless to say, but thankfully I had a lot of great staff that helped me at the agency. We had an intern that was really great with helping sort the data that we did receive. So the first database I'm going to share with you, I'm going to skip past this. This is the web links for these databases that I'm going to refer to later. I do have copies of this presentation, so don't feel like you have to write down all these web links. I'll be happy to share that with you afterwards. So I heard a yes. I didn't see very many papers in some of the other presentations, and folks were like, I need a PowerPoint. So I was like, I got that covered. So the first database is our Florida Navigator. Our Florida Navigator actually has data from all of our sister agencies, and this is state government programs. And these programs we'd find under the Agency for Healthcare Administration, APD, which is the Agency for Persons with Disabilities, Department of Children and Families, Department of Education, Elder Affairs, Department of Health, and the Department of Transportation. And we do have a couple federal resources in this database as well. So our goal was to have a one-stop for families to find state government programs. They want to know, what can I get from the state of Florida? What programs are offered? So we've created this one area for families to access that information. When we created the database, we didn't want it to be overwhelming, because you'll see with our community resource directory, it has a lot of information. Well, with the Florida Navigator, the state of Florida has less than 100 programs throughout our sister agencies. And so we wanted families to be able to find out where exactly they can get this information. And we wanted to sort it in a way that was sorted in a way where they could find what they need when they need it. So if I have a child who's 3 years old, I know I can find all the information in early years. So we broke it into 4 life stages. Early years, which is for children under the ages of 3 or just before they go into the school system. Then we have our school years for individuals ages 4 to 21. Then we have our work and family years for those that are ages 22 to 59. And then we have information for those who we consider the retirement years, which are 60 and older. One great thing about our Florida Navigator is that we learned that Florida is a very diverse, and so we wanted to have a way to translate that information into different languages. So we were able to use Google Translate, which will translate the entire website so families can understand what programs are available for them. We also wanted to provide a way for families to connect with a peer, a self-advocate, a parent, someone who has experienced a similar journey. And so we provided a way for families to get in contact with the Family Care Councils, which is a governor-appointed advisory board for our agency. And we'll hear a little more about them from one of our Family Care Council members in a little later. So this is a screenshot of our Florida Navigator. We have two ways that families can search for programs, and this is strictly state government programs. We have search for programs, which allows you to use this criteria base, so that way we could sort the information into what you are really looking for. And then we have programs by agency, which allows you to see a running list of all of the programs available in the state of Florida. With the Florida Navigator, we wanted to give families the information that they needed at a glance. So we wanted not just the program name, but the agency responsible, and most importantly, we wanted them to know the eligibility requirements. We didn't want families having to get hopeful information and then go find out that later down, I don't even qualify for this. So we wanted to put the eligibility requirements there so they could see it right away and say, okay, this doesn't meet our needs, this isn't gonna work for us. We also wanted families to know if there's a cost. Some programs have co-pays, so if we wanted families to know up front, this is what you're gonna have to out of pocket in order to access this program. We have a direct link to the website, the agency contact information, and we also wanted them to know if it requires Medicaid. The second database, and we're going to show you a live demo of these two databases. The second database that we created, this one was actually created first. It's our Community Resource Directory. And we wanted, our director was out, she did a lot of community town halls, and she was learning from various families different programs that are in the community that were helping them, that came in at the last second and was a benefit to families. Faith-based programs. There's some, little camp, a local camp that happens every year for individuals with special needs. I mean, little things like that. She was hearing all these wonderful stories, and she thought, wouldn't it be great to have a database that could share this information? Thankfully, I wasn't tasked with that one, but it is a great resource for families. Our Community Resource Directory has more than 7,000 local, state, and national resources. So you'll find some of the state government programs in this database, but also you'll find information about the little programs, like if there's, what is a favorite? Tim Tebow's Night to Shine. Those events, those organizations, buddy breaks that have respite programs, things like that in your local community are in the database. We also wanted to create a way for you to share those resources with us. Just before we came in here today, I was speaking to Lucia. She's over here. She was telling me about two resources that I had never known about. So we actually have a way for Lucia to go into the resource directory and submit information about these programs, and then it comes to us, and then we connect with these programs to make sure that they are active and they are willing to help our individuals with disabilities. And then we also have an events calendar because we like to let everybody know there are things happening all the time in our communities and we just don't know about it. And so the community is able to share their events with us and we could put it up in our calendar. When you use the resource directory, you learn about the resource, their contact information. You get a description of the actual program. There is a Google map with the address that allows you to map, get directions to that location. It gives you topics served, the disability served, and the service area. Sometimes it's multiple counties, sometimes it's statewide or national. And this is a screenshot from our actual Florida Navigator. Somehow got mixed up. We'll get to that. So John, if you don't mind, we're going to go through a demo of each of the two directories, and we'll show you a little bit more. So the first one we're going to look at is the Florida Navigator. There we are. So this is the home page. You have an overview of the Florida Navigator and then a little bit of information about our family care councils. And I was going to ask Marty if she wouldn't mind. She's one of our family care council members from Area 10. She's our chairperson, and she's going to share some information about the family care councils. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. My name's Marty Norris, and I live in Broward County, and I am the chair. It's also known as Area 10. So, the Family Care Council is made up of 15 councils throughout the state of Florida. Depending on where you live, will depend on which area you're a part of. We are all immediate family members, and or we are individuals with developmental disabilities. We are essentially one of your cheerleaders. We provide information, we provide resources for different things in your particular area. As you navigate through the system, you're going to have questions in different periods of your life. What works for you so that I can enhance my own self-quality of life? There's going to be different disabilities, and we all can learn from each other. The question on how to find resources is very tedious, but what works best for some members of our community can be shared. We have a lot to live for, and we want to make your lifestyles better. And that includes the special needs community. So what may work for someone who's younger versus somebody who's a senior citizen or in an adult program? That has a lot to say for within itself. So please join us. Please call us. We are only a call away. Instead of saying that I'm in this alone, look at it as you have just joined a sister and a brother community.
Thank you. We do have a couple chairs in the room. I see Laura Tassinelli. She's from our Area 14 Family Care Council, which is Polk County. And then I see Denise Torres. She's from our Area 4 Family Care Council, which is Clay, St. John's, Nassau. Wait, don't tell me. I'm sorry? Duval, yes, and Baker. And then I see Jean from our Palm Beach area. And I don't know if I missed anybody, but if you have any questions, feel free to afterwards for more information about our family care councils. We do have a brochure next to the projector, and we also have some postcards here about the resource directory. So we're going to search by programs. John, thank you. So this allows us to select a criteria so that we can filter the results to our needs. So we're going to, let's see. We'll look for services for myself. And I am looking for help for a job. I'm in my work years. I can't see from over here. I know it's kind of tiny, so I'm sorry. So look at job support, maybe transportation. And then we'll look under life stages. Let's select work and family years. And you could choose as many as you want, but yeah. So we'll go ahead and search. Awesome. So can you click on that plus sign next to the first resource? I can't read it from here. Maybe somebody could see it. CareerSource Florida. So if you'll notice, it's probably hard to see, but you'll see there's under the agency, it lists the name of the agency that has oversight, which is the Department of Economic Opportunity. And then it also, under life stages, you'll see that it's highlighted. There's multiple life stages that they serve, but they all, the selection criteria that I chose was work and family years, and that's why it's highlighted yellow. And then under services, you'll see it's highlighted yellow for job support because that's the selection criteria I chose. And then there's, well, this one, you don't have any eligibility requirements. Maybe the next one. CDC Plus. Can you click on that one for me? You'll see under CDC Plus the eligibility criteria, the requirements for accessing this program. At the top, John, can you scroll back up a little bit? you'll see that it says print selected. There's a checkbox next to each of the resources listed. So if you check them off, you can either print it to a printer or you could print it as a PDF and save it for later. And you know, websites change a lot. So we wanted to provide families an opportunity to let us know if something isn't working, if the web link doesn't work, if the phone number is not working. So we wanted to let them share feedback, or if it's something that they didn't find what they were looking for and they wanted some additional assistance, they can click on that APD Wants to Know link, and they can let us know what exactly is not working on that website. The other search area is our programs by agency at the top. And this is just a running list of all the programs available under each of those agencies. You could just scroll down. We have breakdown. I didn't scare her away. She has a flight she has to catch. She let me know ahead in time. So yeah, so if you scroll, you'll see each of the programs that are under those agencies. We're going to go back to the home page to show, or actually on this page, at the very top it says you could select your language for the Google Translate, and let's try Spanish. And so it's able to translate the information into Spanish or whatever. There's some fun ones you could try out if you're interested. So that's really great. I know Spanish and Creole is really big in Florida as well. There you go. Thanks. So this is our Florida Navigator, and we're going to move over to our Community Resource Directory. John's so on top of it. He's awesome. So this is our Community Resource Directory. This one was actually created first. And so we had to add a little bit of description to it because a lot of families were coming here thinking, this is where I find my providers. Well, this isn't where you find your providers. We created this with our waitlist families in mind. We wanted to connect them with some free and low-cost services in their community. And so we did explain that at the top, which is really hard for you to see. And we provided a link to an online provider search for them to find providers, a list of providers for their area. So we're going to look for, let's see. So we have 36 keywords. You can only select up to 5, I believe, for your initial search. You can search by zip code, where you could put in your local zip code and select a area, 5 miles, 10 miles, 15, I think all the way up to 100 miles. Or you can just look by county and see what's available in your county, or you can just look for just all of them if you want to see everything. So let's pick a county, John. You want to do Orange since we're in the Orange County? And let's look at our service area. We could actually, let's go with a local. Let's see what's available on a local level. So local would be in your surrounding area. State would be throughout the state of Florida. And then the national, of course, is the nation. Sure. Well, you could submit just to see what's all listed for your area, or you can select certain criteria. So we have here how many resources? 559 community resources. So this would include local, state, and national because we didn't select. Or did we do just local? These are just local, sorry. So the first one we see is a Center for Women because we didn't select a certain criteria. Let's go back and select a criteria so we can show them the smart search feature. So you could pick up to adult day training. Anything else? Can you, I don't know if you could see from over here. Let's look at parent training, transportation, transition programs. And if you'll notice, I don't know if you can tell, every time you check off, it gives you a little description there of what exactly that means, or the definition of that keyword. And we could do, I think, one more. Well, that's fine. 4 is good. We could click search. So when you submit a search based off the criteria, it populates the resources that meet most of those needs. So it's called a smart search feature. So you'll see in bold the programs that we searched. The 4 that are included will populate to the top as your most likely to meet your need resource. And then if you click on this link here, John, well, let's not do Aunt Bertha, let's do a different one because she doesn't have a map, because it's national as well. When you click on the link, it gives you additional information about that program. It also gives you, like I said, a Google map where it allows you to connect with them, find driving directions to the actual program. It lists the topics served, and then it lets you know, it's so hard to see, counties and the disabilities served. Awesome, thanks. Yes.
One of the most helpful things to me when I'm talking to parents on the phone is in the description, if I'm looking for an adult, the ages are usually right there. So they can eliminate that program if that age doesn't fit.
Right, and I'll just let you know because we are recording. What Denise said is that when she refers to a family, when you open up and you read the description, it does give you the age categories that they serve. For example, on that second one. I can't see from here. 60 and up. There you go. Awesome. Cool. And we also wanted to provide a way for families to let us know if there was an error with this resource so they can click on APD wants to know, because like you said, things change. Programs do sometimes close, and so we want to make sure we keep this resource directory as up to date as possible. Awesome. Thank you, John. Awesome. Thanks. So just to sum it up, the differences between our 2 resources, our 2 database, the Florida Navigator is strictly state government programs, has less than 100 programs in that database, and it's sorted by life stage. And then our resource directory is more community programs in the state, in your local area, and your national resources. I like to share some of my frequently shared resources with families. For our self-advocates, I don't know if you're familiar with Florida SANS. They have self-advocacy groups throughout the state of Florida. They are awesome. They are energetic. They are advocates for those with individuals with developmental disabilities, and they are awesome. Like you can see, it starts in the Panhandle all the way down to Miami-Dade area. And then we have our family-to-family resources, our Family Care Council. Marty shared information about. We do have, like I said, we do have brochures here, so please do connect with them. Families speak a different language than I can. I don't have a loved one with a developmental disability, but I've noticed working with our Family Care Councils, when they come together, they actually speak a whole nother language. You have someone who's walking a similar journey, someone who understands that it's tough at times, but you can get through it and endure it. So I really do highly recommend our Family Care Councils. And you probably heard this all weekend, and you probably continue to hear it. We are in hurricane season, so get connected, get your plan. I went to yesterday's presentation with Karen Hagan and Michael Taylor, and one thing they stressed, make a plan, but communicate your plan. It's great to have a plan, but if your family doesn't know about the plan, or if somebody who's supposed to step in and help with the plan doesn't know, it's pointless. So make a plan, communicate your plan. And it's on our APD websites. We have a recovery toolkit that has every bit of information you could think of, and it's very helpful. And then here are some of our disaster planning guides that you can access. Informational resources. I get a lot of emails and families wanting to know, I just need some information on guardianship. I just need to know if there's guardianship alternatives. And my number one place that I refer them to is our Florida Developmental Disabilities Council. They have a great number of printed resources for family. I mean, I can't even list them all. Go to their website, fddc.org. They have Planning Ahead, which is it was a great tool when we created the Navigator because it starts from birth to those retirement years, things that you might encounter. They have an amazing housing guide that helps families find, and it's broken down by the 67 counties. So if they have a housing authority in that county, that information is in that housing guide. It's awesome. They have information on sexuality for individuals with developmental disabilities, for the parent and for the child. So it's really great. I mean, tons and tons of printed information that you can use and share. And there's also the Family Network on Disabilities, which is a parent-to-parent training group. They have Dadvocates, which is great. It's a support group for dads. I mean, they have all kinds of great programs. My favorite respite program is the Nathaniel's Hope Buddy Break program. It matches a person with a developmental disability with a buddy, and they can go out. I've seen the companion, go out and have a good time. I don't have to hang out with mom. I have my own friend. You guys go. Mom takes it as respite. They take it as a companion.